What's going on? I'm Marcus, and you're at the channel of the Debt Free Dad, where we're following my family's debt free journey and learning about finance from our experiences, from our losses, from our successes, and all that good stuff. So definitely tune in to our journey. Now, in this video, this is going to be a great video today. I'm actually really excited and pumped about this video, and let me tell you why. This month marks the 1 year anniversary that we started our debt-free journey. Now, didn't start the channel in August, but we actually started our debt-free journey in August of last year. This time last year, I was a little groggy. I was actually not groggy. I was at home chilling, getting ready to go into another surgery for the whole brain thing that I talked about in plenty other videos before. But after that first surgery that I had last June, I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead, clear all this debt up. I don't want to be the brokest lawyer in America, so let's see if we can make some adjustments to what we're doing. We weren't absolutely a mess, but we weren't really trying to do everything. We was content with just paying the minimum on everything and just not acquiring anything new, and that shit would have took us forever. So we're going to look at the numbers, where we started to where we are now. It's going to be crazy. I didn't even know when I'm doing the thumbnail. I didn't even do the thumbnail yet. I actually record my videos, then I do the thumbnail, and I don't even know if I'm going to put the total on the thumbnail or not, because when I tell you the numbers, it's just going to be crazy. But I'm probably going to put it up there, but I don't know. But let's talk about it. I actually linked the video above to my debt confession that I did for my family, where I went over all of our debt. And it's interesting because I actually went back and looked at that video, and I forgot to put something on there, even though I did make videos and we tracked it during the process. But in that whole video, I put everything up there, but I didn't put the $15,000 that I owed on my car. But I did talk about it as we went through and paid it off, but it was weird, so I even jacked up on that video. But I'll put a link to that video above. God, the production was terrible, but at least you can see what all the debts were. I'm going to go ahead and talk through them real quick so we can talk about where we were, talk about where we are now, talk about what our plans are moving forward, and talk about a few of the valuable lessons that I've learned, that my family's learned on the way during this journey. So, the first thing that we had was, I don't know if you all remember, all your OGs who were there, but we had this expensive ass Haverty's Furniture credit card that my wife had to get. We owed $2,500 on the Haverty's credit card. My wife had a TSP loan of $3,000, and I'm looking down because I got it written on my board that's stashed right here under the camera. We had a Discover card that we owed $4,005 on. My wife's Beamer, we owe $5,002. My Mercedes, we owe $15,000 on. The rental property, we owe $77,000 on. Student loan number 1, we owe $109,000 on. Student loan number 2, $130,121, and our primary residence, we owe $435,000 on it. So that's crazy. That's what we owe. Let's talk about that total. All those numbers that I just gave, y'all don't got to sit there and put them in your phone, because I'm going to just pop it right on the screen. Or if I don't pop it on the screen, I'm about to tell you right now. The total was $780,628. Now, that's where we started at. Now, before I get to where we were, again, one of the good things that we did do, we always contributed to our 401k, to retirement and investments accounts. I think what our big issue was, where we were just content with making payments, like, hey, whatever, we get what we want, we'll just make the payments. As long as we can eat the payments and still live comfortably, is not a big idea. Until we had this whole medical situation, then we said, you know, we could do this a little bit smarter, move a little bit better. But that's kind of where we were when we were accumulating this debt. We were comfortable. We could go on the vacations. We could buy whatever the hell we want because we were able to make the payments. We had a lot of debt, but we weren't necessarily over leveraged with debt. We actually had money at the end of the month left over that we would invest. So even though we had a completely flawed strategy, the one positive thing that we always done was invest in retirement and investment accounts. So that helped, at least it helped us keep our net worth in the positive between the properties that we owned, between the property that we own, the land that we own, that we don't have any debt on. We were actually able to have a positive net worth, really because of the properties, our primary residence, our paid for rental property, our paid for land, and our investment accounts allowed us to have a positive net worth. So we weren't completely better, but we did make a determination that we can do better. So that's kind of where we were. Now let's talk about where we are. In short, all of that stuff I mentioned, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know all of that shit gone. We took an opportunity to capitalize again on the pandemic happening. The pandemic was a terrible event. A lot of people's lives and jobs and employment were affected negatively. We were fortunate enough to maintain our employment. We were fortunate enough to be able to work from the crib. And so what we ultimately decided to do, once the student loan interest rate freeze and forbearance came into play, we said, man, this is a blessing in disguise. We can use this money that we would normally pay towards the student loans to eliminate every other debt that we had. And hopefully by 2021, the only thing we'll have is a mortgage on our primary residence and our student loans. And so that's what we set out to do. During the course of 2020, we paid off the Haverty's card, we paid off the TSP loan, we paid off the Discover card, we paid off the BMW, we paid off the Mercedes. That was everything we knocked out in 2020. Did I say 2022? In any event, I'm bugging. But in 2020, we were able to take care of all of those debts. That was about $30,000, a little over $30,000 that we were able to take care of. Essentially from August to the end of the year in December. From August 2020 to December 31st, 2020, we took care of all of those debts, which was slightly over $30,000. Then, when we speedballed into the new year, I think we had a little bit of lag over, because in January we weren't attacking the student loans, but in February we were in a position, February 2021, to start attacking the student loans. So, as a lot of you all know, I do a lot of student loan coverage on this video, because student loans is something that is a pain in my ass, a thorn in my side, and I'm going to get rid of it. So I'm always interested on how this forbearance is going to play out. At this point, I really don't give a damn about forgiveness. I'm not expecting forgiveness. I don't want forgiveness. They could forgive that stuff. I could literally pay my student loans off tomorrow, and if they forgave it next week and I didn't benefit, I would not give a flying fuck. Pardon my language, but that's just kind of where I'm at. It's something I'm going to take care of, and I don't like to pocket watch everybody, so I'm not going to judge like, oh, I didn't get the benefit. Hey, well, just because I didn't get something don't mean somebody else should get it. That would be a goofy way of looking at it. Well, I didn't get the benefit of it, so why should you get it? I'm not a hater like that, and I ain't got a chance to be pocket watching because I want to worry about my own pockets. And so we knocked all of that stuff out. January, we cleaned up the last of that nonsensical debt, and then in February, we only focused on the student loan. But another blessing in disguise, the student loan forbearance got extended. And the other blessing in disguise was that my HOA, the Homeowners Association for the one rental property that I actually have a mortgage on, is that they were a complete and utter disaster. And them being a complete and utter disaster ended up being a blessing in disguise. I actually always wanted to sell the rental property. And I talked about this before in the video that the wifey and I did. I always wanted to sell the rental property. The wife was really reluctant because she wanted to build this have all of these doors so we can get this rental income. And ultimately, we sat down and thought about it and decided what you want from rental income isn't really based on the amount of doors you have. The amount of doors you have is important, but more so is about the amount of debt that you're carrying or that you're leveraging when you're investing in real estate. So our plan moving forward, and I think we mentioned this in another video, is hey, once we knock out the student loans, we're going to go through the process of trying to purchase a rental property every 24 to 36 months and just pay it off cash, because we should be in a position to be able to do that once we take care of these student loans. So let's get back to it. February 2021, we got rid of all the nonsensical debt. The only thing we had left were the student loans and the rental property. The HOA was whack as hell. We decided to sell the rental property. Once we sold that rental property, which was the only one we had, the only rental property which was the only property outside of our primary residence that we had a mortgage on. We were able to sell that, eliminate that $77,000 mortgage that was attached to that rental property. We were able to take money from the proceeds, apply $45,000 of the proceeds to our student loan number one. So in February, again, we had a rental property of $77,000, which we were able to eliminate. We had a student loan number one of $109,000, which we were able to eliminate a vast majority of it. We put $45,000 down, and we were making payments from February all the way through current. So where we stand right now, on only debts we have remaining, student loan number one, we owe $52,323. Student loan number two, wifey student loan, we're still at $130,121. And our current property that we reside in, we're at $428,000, essentially more or less, $428,280. So let's talk about where we were in relation to where we are now. And this number is just crazy. I'm just so blessed and proud that we were able to make this progress. Everything worked out the way everything worked out the way God intended it to work out for us to either make progress or learn a lesson financially. So I'm definitely counting all those blessings. So when we started this journey a year ago to date, our total debt was $780,628. Like I said, we did have a positive net worth because we have a property and some land that's paid off. We have the equity in our primary home, and we do have investments accounts that we've been investing in for almost a decade or slightly over a decade now. So that's where we started, $780,628 in debt. Today, a year later, where we are currently, we're at $610,742. So what that means is for the total first year of paying off our debt on our debt-free journey, and we dropped the ball a lot of places. We could have did better, but our total debt payoff for our first year on our debt-free journey is $169,886. So we paid almost $170,000 of debt off. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the lessons that we learned, some of the things that worked and some of the things that didn't work. At the end of the day, everybody's journey is everybody's journey. So we can't go, I know when you watch all these YouTube videos, you're like, man, their net worth is crazy, or they paying off their debt fast, and you can't worry about what the next man doing, because if you're so focused and worried about what other people are doing in their journey, I don't care if it's financial, I don't care if it's YouTube, I don't care if it's you trying to start a business, but if you're worried about what everybody else doing, that means you're not spending enough time focusing on what you needed to do. So that was one of the lessons we learned. Our journey is our own journey, your journey is your own journey. Everybody got a different path to travel to get to what they call financial freedom, or get to financial independence, or get to whatever goal it is. So we had to pace ourselves at the level that we can pace ourselves. That's number one. I think the second thing is we also realized that, we took the Dave Ramsey course. We aren't super hardcore Dave Ramsey guys. I will say probably 80 to 90% of what Dave says about getting out of debt, I agree with. Some of the things I just can't shake, and I think it's just kind of a mental block because of the situation that led to me and my family wanting to seek financial freedom. I can't rationalize in my mind keeping a $1,000 emergency fund during the duration of a debt-free journey that's lasting longer than 12 months. I'm just speaking for that because tomorrow's not promised. I mean, hell, I go to the gym every day. I love to work out. I'm in great shape. And what happened? Wow, I had a brain aneurysm from some random thing that was in my head that needed to be taken out. But for me having an emergency fund, I would have been in trouble. I wouldn't have had money to kind of sustain that situation. So some of the things I follow, some of the things I don't follow just because of my experience. I'm just not going to put my family in that position. Now, am I saying it is a bad idea? No, I'm just saying that it's something that didn't work for me in that particular time. And that's just kind of the way I move. The other thing is, we were able to find a healthy balance of, paying off our debt, making a plan, but still being able to enjoy some things. We still actually were able to budget a vacation. We still were able to, you know, do things with the kids. I was able to take the wifey out and do some things. Now, would it be as much as I normally do in the past? No. Did I get to go to see any fights in New York or Vegas over the past years? No. Some of the extra stuff that we was doing just to do because we could do it, we had to let go to focus on the debt. So you got to find out what your sacrifice point is, what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're willing to prolong, and what you actually want to do to get some memories and have some good time and reward your family. Just remember, and what we remembered is, whatever it is that we decide to do as a family, whether it's vacation or make a purchase, it's just going to be cash flow. It's not going to be no debt. We're not making no payments on anything like that. And the other thing is, it's a ride, enjoy the ride. You're gonna go hard, and I find me personally in the winter months, I'm like, man, it's easy to go hard in the winter months because it's cold outside, it's brick. Nobody really want to go outside. It kind of suck. So it's easier for me to budget, save money because it's too brick outside. I don't really want to do nothing. In the summer months, it get a little bit more difficult. You want to do stuff. People want to go places. The children want to see things. Your schedule got you running around, so you might want to go grab some fast food from some terrible place for the kids or something. And so we all gonna fall off this wagon for whatever journey, whatever it is we're trying to do in life. But it's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get up. And you gotta remember, it's this express difference between falling from a bump in the road versus throwing yourself face first on the concrete. So I try to make any hiccups we have in our journey or anything I do in life more of a bump in the road. I don't try to put myself or my family in a position where, oh man, I didn't fall off the wagon. I just decided to jump face first off the wagon into the goddamn concrete. That's not something I'm doing. But that's where we are. That's the numbers. We paid off $169,886 during our first year. I'm going to just give me, the wifey, the family, everybody a round of applause. All you guys out there who journey I'm tracking, who giving me motivation. Hey, I appreciate y'all because y'all journeys give me motivation. The good, the bad, the ugly. I learn from it all. I hope y'all find this video helpful. I'm probably not even going to throw up a bunch of crazy graphics or nothing because for real, I just wanted to talk and get this shit out. And I don't even want to throw too many graphics up. So there might be mistakes in this and all, but that's kind of how it played out. Hey, I appreciate you all tuning in. Continue to check out the journey. Y'all take care. Love y'all. Be blessed. Peace. If you're interested in following our journey and learning more about finance, check out these videos and the links below. And if you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And yo, by the way, tap that bell notification, like this video so it can help that good old YouTube algorithm.